What if I told you the person who invented the light bulb isn't who you think it is? And what if I told you that this keeps happening? Like, a lot. The original genius gets left in the dust, while the second person, who just made it shinier, louder, or easier to sell, gets all the credit. It's like someone inventing pizza, and someone else getting famous for inventing stuffed crust. So, what's going on here? Why does history have amnesia when it comes to the OGs? Why does the spotlight so often shine on the refiner, not the creator? Let's break it down, because this rabbit hole goes way deeper and funnier than you think. Part 1. The first mover disadvantage, aka why being first is the worst. Okay, real talk. Being first is brutal. Sure, you get bragging rights, if anyone remembers you. But you also get no roadmap, no funding, a confused market, and people asking you, why would anyone ever need this? You're the test subject. You're the person who eats the raw dough before anyone realizes you're supposed to bake it first. There's an actual term for this in business, the first mover disadvantage. That's right, disadvantage. Because the first person often ends up spending more money on R&D, making all the rookie mistakes, educating a public that just isn't ready. Meanwhile, the second person shows up like, oh, thanks for doing all the hard work. I'll take it from here. Let's call this person the fast follower. They fix the flaws, make it look good, slap a logo on it, and market the heck out of it. Boom. Instant legacy. Part 2. History's most famous. Second guys. Let's play a game. I'm gonna say the invention. You guess who got the credit. Ready? Light bulb? You said Edison, right? Wrong. Kind of. Thomas Edison was the popularizer of the light bulb, not the original inventor. The concept had been around since Humphrey Davy in 1802. He made an electric arc lamp, but it was so blinding it could probably give you a suntan in 3 seconds. Later, Joseph Swan made a practical version in Britain, but he didn't scale it globally. Edison? He made it better, built the infrastructure, got the patents in the US, and marketed himself as the Wizard of Menlo Park. He didn't just invent a light bulb, he invented his personal brand. The airplane? Most say the Wright brothers. But German aviation pioneer Gustav Whitehead flew a powered aircraft in 1901, 2 years before the Wrights. His plane actually flew over half a mile, but he didn't file a patent. He didn't have photos, just newspaper clippings and eyewitness accounts. Meanwhile, the Wrights, photos, patents, and PR, legacy secured. It's not about who does it first. It's about who does it in public, with receipts. Part 3. The Law of Diffusion of Innovation, aka the curve of meh to OMG I need it. Let's get nerdy, but in a fun way, promise. There's a thing called the Law of Diffusion of Innovation, created by Everett Rogers. It's like the social version of a slow-cooking microwave burrito. Here's how it works. Innovators. The first 2.5% of people. These are the mad scientists, the tinkerers, the I just built a rocket in my backyard crowd. Early adopters. The cool kids who aren't afraid to take a risk. These people lined up for the first iPhone when it had no copy-paste feature. Early majority. Now we're talking scale. These folks want some risk, but not set your garage on fire risk. Late majority. Is it safe now? Can I join? This is your aunt who still calls Facebook the Facebook. Laggards. Still listening to CDs. Thinks TikTok is a brand of breath mints. So why does the second person win? Because they entered during the early adopter phase, just before the early majority. That's where real momentum starts. Innovators are often too early. The second person rides the sweet spot of social timing. They're like the friend who shows up to the party not first, not last, but exactly when the food gets served and the vibe is perfect. Part 4. Why we remember the second guy and not the genius who was first. Now here's where things get deep. There are 3 main reasons we remember the second guy. 1. Narrative simplicity. Humans love stories, not spreadsheets, not prototypes. Stories. And stories need a protagonist, a problem, a triumph. The original inventor is often living in chaos. They're broke, overwhelmed, and speaking in weird jargon like quantum resistance thresholds. Meanwhile, the second person has a cleaner arc. They show up, simplify everything, and say, hey, this toaster now has a bacon slot. Boom. Story sold. 2. Marketing muscle. The second guy usually knows how to sell. Edison was a PR machine. Steve Jobs could sell a brick if he said it had revolutionary aluminum edges. Meanwhile, the first guy is like, I made this in my shed and it runs on 12 car batteries and hope. Which one do you think ends up on stage? 3. The economy likes scalability. Economically, the second person tends to have more resources, enter when markets are ready, create systems, not just ideas. There's a saying, pioneers get arrows, settlers get land. The pioneer clears the path, the settler builds the Starbucks. Part 5. Even food isn't safe. Let's go primitive. You think cavemen weren't innovators? Please. Someone invented fire roasting meat for the first time. That's culinary genius. But do we remember them? Nope. We remember the guy who added sauce and invented barbecue. How about bread? The original was a basic fermented grain paste. Tasted like sadness. But someone added yeast, figured out baking, and eventually, we got sourdough influencers. And don't get me started on sandwiches. People were wrapping food in bread for centuries, but then the Earl of Sandwich eats meat between 2 slices of bread during a card game, and suddenly we name the entire genre after him? Marketing, timing, and an epic poker face. Part 6. Modern-day madness. You'll recognize these. Let's rapid-fire some modern examples. Vine walked so TikTok could dance awkwardly in 15-second loops. MySpace taught us HTML. Facebook taught us how to ignore friend requests. BlackBerry gave us mobile email. Apple gave us sleek, shiny dopamine devices. Napster got sued. Spotify got rich. Even AI, yeah, like me, has been around for decades. But OpenAI made it useful, polished, and fun enough to write your video scripts. Thanks, by the way. Part 7. So, is it fair? Is it fair? No? Is it predictable? Absolutely. But here's the twist. We need both people. The inventor is the spark. The second mover is the fireplace. You don't have to be first. You just have to be better, faster, or louder. Or ideally, all 3. So whether you're an inventor or an improver, here's the playbook. Build something. Make it usable. Wrap it in a story. And sell it like you believe it'll save the world. Because if history has taught us anything, it's this. The future belongs not to the person with the idea, but to the person who makes us care about it. If this video sparked some curiosity or existential dread, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and check out the links in the description. We've got more deep dives coming your way. Oh, and don't forget, the world doesn't need just inventors. It needs people who can take a genius idea and make it stick. See you in the next one.